I'm here.
Hello,
I
everyone. You made it! Yay! Tim Danko's here. It's Pro. What's up, buddy?
Nothing. I was waiting for you to talk. Go. Have we not done this enough that we don't know how this works? Hi, everybody. Bro, Plata. It's what's today? What is today's date?
It's the
Friday,
11th.
the 11th. All right, party time.
Your mic isn't on, by the way.
What? It's not on.
No, I can't hear.
Okay.
Son of a bitch. Always unprofessional. You're just the worst. You're the reason this podcast sucks, not me.
Can you hear me now?
No.
What do you mean you can't hear? Like, you know,
I can
I'm
hear
talking.
you through your webcam. I just can't hear you.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Well, she told me that. Now I'm confused. All right. Well, it's because I just checked it and it was working. So I don't. We'll just do this.
Oh my god! Thank you guys for joining us. It's Bro Plata. Tim is fixing his bullshit mic. Nobody gives a fuck about Tim. He always fucks everything up. We are Bro Plata, and
there we go.
Yeah, there we are.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's but on its own, it decided to switch mics on me. It usually doesn't do that. So, all right, we're good. We're solid.
And by the rest, I understand. I know that I'm the reason this whole show sucks. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm just project.
That's the thing. We just at this point we don't have to tell Ray. He already knows, so we don't need to beat that horse.
And we have the Timcrophone up and running, which is always good. The Timcrophone is how he speaks. He doesn't speak during the day, folks. That's not no.
Never, not once. No. I just make weird squeaky Tourette's noises, and that's it.
That's fine.
I talk to my cat, but I talk to my cat in meow language. So,
oh, never mind. This is not my favorite person because he was talking about Tim. How dare you fuck everything up? Now I've got a second. I got a guy to back me up. So,
yeah, but we know he's wrong.
This is true.
Anyway, what were we going to talk about, Ray? How are you? How are things?
Doing good, buddy. Worked today. Took a nap in my truck in Beechwood. That was fun.
Professional.
I had an hour to kill, so I slept for 20 minutes. It was one of those weird.
How did you not oversleep and miss the rest of your shift? Because that's usually what you do with this podcast.
No. Well, this is true, but when it comes to something I make money at, I really take I don't.
You'll never make money if you don't take it seriously, Ray.
I'm aware.
You know what I was doing? You know why I got here right on time? I was watching fights.
Oh, what were you watching?
Actually, the last thing I was watching was Embedded, and then I was watching Unlocking Victory. That's what it's called. That.
Oh, okay.
So, no, I was watching stuff. I was watching fights and whatnot. Did you watch Clarissa Shields last night?
I did. I watched PFL. I fell asleep during the fights, but then when I got home today, I made a point of watching the former 3-time world champion and Olympic champion Clarissa Shields debut in MMA.
Those are still her belts, baby girl.
I don't. Does she still have her belts? I thought she'd have to give those up.
She's planning. She's going to defend those belts. She's planning on it.
I like it then.
But she does that and can win even some of her MMA fights. But so if you didn't see it, what happened? Spoiler alert. She won by 3rd round TKO. She had some trouble in the 1st and 2nd round. You know what though? We were talking about this last episode. I'm like, it'd be nice to see her get taken down and be able to get up. She did. I honestly think because of the opponent that PFL gave her, they wanted her to win, obviously. It's much better for PFL if Clarissa Shields comes out with a win. But I think the reason they picked someone with a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, has some ground game, but can't hurt her, is because they wanted to show that maybe she's learning some stuff. I think this fight went exactly how PFL wanted it to go. 100%. I think they wanted her to get taken down and show that she's actually learning some stuff other than her just starching a girl who's also going to try to knock her out. And we know she can do that. She's been doing that for years.
Yeah.
But someone that's not super dangerous, but is more experienced than her and is better at her certain things, took her down but wasn't able to finish her. And Clarissa Shields, being a badass like she is, stayed super composed and got pissed off and finished her in the third round. It was great. I loved it. It's fantastic. I was a little nervous at first, but I honestly think that's exactly how PFL wanted it to go when they picked Brittany Elkins as her opponent. They wanted her to see someone who's going to take her down but not necessarily be super dangerous about it. And that's exactly what happened. I think it went perfectly.
The girls' record was, but here's the thing: Clarissa Shields. What I liked about what's her name? I forget her name already.
3-6. That's 9 MMA fights against 0 MMA fights. Just saying.
This is true, but a very powerful puncher. Like, she was making those bitches hurt, and you could hear them. Like, you could just hear that slapping, and it was almost Jerry Sandusky, like just slapping sound.
Really turned with 12 seconds left in the second round when she was able to get up and then hit her on the ground, and she was hurt after that. You're like, oh, now she's in trouble.
She was hurt a few times when she was in mount, when Clarissa would throw punches up at her. She was connecting and really doing like some good damage to her off her back, which was interesting. Like, I think Clarissa Shields is going to be a creative striker once she gets her like kickboxing down. I honestly think, and hats off to this girl for fighting the way she did, getting in a Muay Thai stance like she did against a boxer in Clarissa Shields, who's never gone up against that kind of person in any competition. That was smart to do, and
that's what she always does. But
still, I've never seen her before. So
I also think that's also one of the reasons they picked her. But you can give her crap for the fact that she was 3-6, but also number one, she wasn't smashing her D-Rest because she has no ability to smash her. Like, she was hitting her with it was patty cake on the ground. She was barely touching her. Oh, well, we'll see, man. We'll see.
Well, okay.
Make the UFC is a weird thing to say because she's in the PFL, right? I mean, they're both, okay, you can say, but the PFL is a real organization. It's, but they're easing her in. She hasn't had any fights, man, and she's fighting someone who has 9 MMA fights, and she has been training on the ground for like 6-7 months or something. That's it, and she's been boxing that time too. So the thing is, they understand that of course she's not going to be great right now. But no one expects her to. But BFL's doing the right thing and just ease her into it. And and her next fight probably won't be with somebody tough too, but they have to build her up. It doesn't help PFL if they put her up against Kayla Harrison right away and it's garbage and she gets destroyed.
Yeah.
No, they want that fight to happen eventually, but they have to wait for Clarissa Shields to learn how to fight MMA. And for that to happen, they have to give her the right opponents, and they'll do that. It's going to be kind of like what boxing does with their fighters. But it makes sense. It makes sense for PFL to do that the way they're doing it because they don't have as many stars as, say, the UFC. So the ones they have to build her up until they get her to the point where she's ready to fight the real contenders they have, like a Kayla Harrison. But it's going to be a minute. Maybe next year when they have the season.
And that D-Rest is
Clarissa
just
Shields,
like
I think
going
Clarissa
ham
Shields
in the comments tonight.
Yeah, I think Clarissa Shields is a gorgeous lady. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I will say this. Sometimes, fight shorts, they show off the best qualities. And I was definitely staring at Clarissa Shields in those gimmicks because she's hot. She's a very hot woman. I like her. And the one thing that really made me kind of and you can be prejudiced against boxers, sir, but I like boxing. It was my first sport before MMA came into my life.
It was everyone's. Well, not necessarily, but I mean, it's been around for hundreds of years.
Yeah,
instead of 28 years, whatever. Yeah. I didn't do the math correctly, but yeah,
it's a terrible human being you are. But no, I looked at this fight. I kind of, when she got taken down, I was waiting for the opportunity that you talked about, which was getting up. She got her back up against the cage. She kept it. I think it was Randy Couture on the commentary team because he mentioned James Toney.
Yeah, that was funny. It's funny because it was him. He's like better than James Toney did. I'm like, that's the guy who choked out James Toney in 30 seconds.
Yeah, but like she did have good head position for the time that they were up against the cage. She was really getting She looked like she has been training in ground defense for a while. She did miss a few times to possibly get a leg trap. But again, that'll come with time. I'm not saying that these are glaring errors, but you can definitely tell there is a lot to be a lot to work on outside of her striking.
But
she did throw a couple good leg kicks.
But her ceiling, she has so much talent. Her ceiling's super high. Also, one thing that I definitely realized, she got it right in the third round. A couple times, and I think the first and the second round, there were some scrambles. She was actually on top for a second. And she started throwing strikes on top instead of getting up. Well, that's fine. But if you're not going to get up, like her hips were in terrible places. Like I'm looking, I'm like, her hips are in the right spot, and she was very easily able to scramble out and get on top of Clarissa from the position. I'm like, that's what she needs to work on. But in the third round, when Elkins was already beat up and tired, she was able to get her hips in the right spot at the end there. But yeah, obviously there's a lot of stuff for her to work on. One thing I think is pretty curious is her at Jackson Wink, only because they have so many monsters there, and I feel like they need their best people to really teach her MMA from the ground up. I hope that's what's happening there, because I mean they have so many. Jackson and Winklejohn are with the John Jones and Holly Holm, and I'm sure she's one of their priorities now too. But I'm just wondering, someone has to be with her all the time to really make sure she gets the fundamentals from the ground up. Yeah. And that's usually not what the Jackson and Winklejohn are teaching people. They're teaching their big fighters, right? The new stuff, getting them ready for big fights, not teaching day one stuff, which Clarissa Shields has to learn. So hopefully it's working there. I think that was kind of an odd choice just because for her to go to a big super gym instead of maybe like a little smaller gym where she can get. I'm not saying she's not getting one-on-one. I'm sure they have a lot of coaches and a lot of people, but I don't know. I don't know how it's going on there. It just seemed like an interesting choice, but they know how to fight there. So hopefully that works out. And look, she obviously showed holes, and that's what PFL wanted to show, is like that she can learn some stuff and she has more stuff to learn. But listen, she'll probably have another fight this year outside of she's not in the season for their lightweights yet.
Yeah.
She'll probably have another fight. Yeah, she'll probably have at least one more this year. And I think she's also planning on boxing this year. So if she wins MMA fights, but I don't care who she's fighting in MMA. If she's winning boxing fights against the best boxers they have to fight her, that's fantastic. I mean, that's so impressive. It's insanely impressive.
For sure, man. And to watch her look comfortable inside that cage was nice. Because you do get those people who get jitters. I'm looking at CM Punk. And I was there for that fucking for that fucking thing. You could have heard. Is Tim on speed? Possibly. Do you take Adderall still or no?
No. If I took it now, I wouldn't look like I was on speed. I look like I'm on speed because I'm not on Adderall. Like if you don't need it, that if Ray took it, well, no, you used to you take it anyway. But if someone who didn't have ADHD took it, they would seem like they're on speed. Me, no. I just have ADHD. I'm not on anything at all. That's the thing. I'm not on anything. I probably should be. I should be, but I'm not. So, well, I'm not on.
I smoke weed for my mental issues now. So,
yeah, I can't remember anything when that happens. Although I do like it, but I can't. Like I said a million times, I can't function when I do that. I just I like to watch television, which I'd like to do anyway. But
yeah, man, I'm very
more than usual. Do I seem speedier than usual? Because I feel like I'm the same.
I don't know. Yeah, you're
doesn't matter. Nothing I can do about it because like I said, that's just me not being on ADHD meds for like at least a year. But whatever. Not nice. Actually, I need to be back on.
See, I'm a person who I really like. I don't know. I don't like them.
When they help, man. The only thing about Adderall is sometimes I do some dumb stuff with the Adderall instead of just take what I'm supposed to. So that's the problem.
Casey wants to know what you are on besides bourbon.
Just the normal Prozac and Wellbutrin.
I was awful on Wellbutrin. I was just a terrible person.
So a lot of people have that issue. I've been on it for almost a decade. So.
Oh man, yeah, I tried when I was in my mid-20s, and never again.
It's one of those ones that you figure out pretty quickly if you can take it or not. So,
yeah, I took it for a year and then stopped. It was bad, like super bad. But
I eat that shit for breakfast, son.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
That's not what I said.
All right,
Rick.
Shooter McGavin. You're supposed to quote Shooter McGavin. No.
I know. I
Son of
know.
a
I know what
bitch.
that was from. I understood that. Ray, you want to play 3 hints again?
Sure.
All right. So this is the thing. I did it last time with a movie that I watched, a random movie. I'm going to do it again with this. But here's the thing. Like, I could find a movie to stump Ray. Like, I could find a random indie movie no one's heard of, and Ray won't know what it is. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to actually pick movies I think might at least a 50-50 shot that Ray might know, and probably movies that Ray have seen before. So
possibly
it's not fun. Like, listen, I assume you saw True Romance. All right, that's not my fault that you didn't see True Romance.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, again, I'm aware of a movie. I just never watched it.
Okay, you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Director is Martin Campbell.
Okay.
Years 2011. Starring Ryan Reynolds.
Okay. What?
Starring Ryan Reynolds.
2011.
Mm-hmm.
Can I buy another hint?
All right, hold on. Let me give you another actor. If I give you that one,
No, I was gonna ask for a genre.
Oh, that's too easy too. Hold on.
Really?
I'll give you another. I'll give you
2011 Ryan Reynolds. I don't know that much besides maybe like that was like
Mark Strong. Mark Strong was in this movie as well.
I don't know who that is.
Tim Robbins was in this movie.
Okay.
I'll give you one more. Now you'll probably get it. Blake Lively was in this movie. His wife. I think this is the movie they met on.
I know the movie you're talking about, but I didn't see it.
It's garbage. That's another one. It's not good.
I don't remember.
DC.
Yeah.
Green Lantern. You know.
Oh, Blake Lively was in Green Lantern.
Yeah.
God.
That's the movie they met on.
You gave me a shit movie that I forgot about, like a fucking.
See? Well, that's the
childhood of time with my uncle.
I forgot about it too until it popped up on whatever I watched it on, and I watched it for the first time in a long time because I don't. It's not. Well, you know what? I was watching. It's not awful. It's just superhero movies weren't great then. They were almost, well, Iron Man was like I was
about to say Iron Man.
They weren't as good. Yeah, they weren't. But DC movies have never been really great, especially then.
That's objective, though. That's
objective. Definitely not then. Which one? Well, I mean, okay, take it back. The old Batman. So okay.
I was going to say the Dark Knight trilogy was pretty
okay.
good.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. Batman. Yeah, okay. You're right. Batman movies are good.
2011 DC movies. There really wasn't that many, and then, like you just said, the Marvel Cinematic Universe was already kind of established by like
just starting. Really, I don't know when was the first Avengers movie. I don't know.
2009, 10, something like that. Yeah, it was like 2010. No, it was 2011 because my mom worked downtown when they were doing. When they were filming it on East 9th Street, and they like blocked off a bunch of places. 2010,
came out in 2020. Came out in 2012, which is because 2011 was when they made it.
Yeah,
but it came out in 2012, which is after Green Lantern. But anyway, DC was trying to make their own thing then, and it didn't work with Green Lantern, and it wasn't. The thing is, it really isn't that bad. It's not any worse than I think like the Fantastic Four movies. All three of them.
I just realized what Casey was trying to say. No, I'm not in a hotel. Just my mom's dog likes to shit in the room. I like put my fucking like stuff. So some poop on my black curtain that I have. So I got my white curtain. Situation I'm in, fellas. Woo! But so white background today.
I honestly thought that it was just like a lighting issue. I thought it was the same curtain, but there's something was going on with your camera.
No, I have a black curtain usually. I'm in the black box of doom. Now I'm in the heavenly box of heaven, I guess. Sounds like it's something an anime would be based off of, like the heavenly box of heaven. And like some demon pops out of it, and it's weird. You ever watched anime before?
Kind of.
Like, were you a big anime kid? Like, were you?
No.
Okay.
No. Some of my friends are into like Yu-Gi-Oh and shit, but I talked about this before. My friends were into like nerdy shit. I was into sports, and I was the only one of my friends who was. So I was weird.
Usually.
They would be playing like Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh cards or whatever. I'd be like in the same room watching a sporting event. Like, what's up? Okay, listen. Let me know when you guys want to play Guitar Hero again. I'm just gonna be watching this football game. I actually remember watching one of my favorite football games I ever saw: Boise State Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma.
That was
at my buddy's. One of my it was a great game. I think I rewatched it like a month or so ago. I was on YouTube, but I was watching it at my buddy's house. They were doing other stuff, and I'm like, I gotta watch this game. You guys doing this? I'm watching this game. I'm like yelling at the television, when they hit that hook and ladder and scored that touchdown. Great game. What a great game.
I was like a nerd for like video games. I played sports and I watched sports. A lot of my friends were juggalos. So it was and I played hacky sack. That was my big thing in like my senior
I did not know of juggalos and ICP till after I was out of high school. So
really,
I don't think there's any juggalos in my school. Yeah.
Where you live, I would expect it to be like a hub of juggalos because it's just country. And like a lot of country bumpkins love fucking ICP. Like it's weird.
Maybe they're closeted. I don't know.
Possibly.
Yeah, is Casey here? Casey's here, right? Because I want to talk about something.
Casey Jones is here.
Okay. All right, Casey. I want to talk about your jazz, brother. And by that I mean Casey is a closeted trumpet player, and is in a fantastic trio. No, the Utah Jazz, man. The Utah Jazz. Sorry, Ray. They won last night. I watched like the back part of that game. Joe Ingles with his receding hairline and bald spot in the back, hitting big threes. Utah's fun to watch. Rudy Gobert being Rudy Gobert, one of the best defensive players in basketball. Donovan Mitchell possibly is one of the bigger stars in basketball, and that damn Bond villain of a head coach they have. Have you seen that guy, Ray? Quinn Snyder. Look up a picture of Quinn Snyder right now.
I'm about
that guy is central casting Bond villain right away, just the way that guy looks. But they look great, and they had another win against the Clippers. Am I not wrong? I mean, am I wrong? No,
dude,
I'm not wrong.
Dude, he looks like Vladimir Putin's cousin.
Kind of. Like, he does. It does.
If he was to fall out of a window in Nakatomi Plaza, I would not be surprised at all.
No. He looks like the bad coach from 90 Ducks 2. Like that's,
yeah.
What he looks like. That's Quinn Snyder. He looks like he's like a perfect superhero villain. But
he looks like he wakes up, drinks a bottle of gin, and says, "Now I can start."
Maybe. Yeah. I'm now that the Lakers are out. Like I'm hoping that the Nets get knocked out. Although they are up, I believe, in their series against Milwaukee. But I could absolutely watch Utah Phoenix Western Conference Finals, and I probably will. You know what? They have a very good shot. They're very good, and I'm pulling for them. And Phoenix, those are it's a couple towns that could use a championship, right? And because Casey's here, I'll say Utah. Utah's never had one, correct? So I hope they get theirs this year. I mean, if I will watch all 7 games of like Utah and Milwaukee for sure. But that's the first time I watched basketball in a minute.
Too.
What?
That would be a weird ass.
Right. When you think of basketball, you think of Salt Lake City and Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's what you think of when you think of basketball.
Trying to write something real quick.
I'm gonna say, what are you doing? Because you look like you're also your camera's kind of breaking up a little bit.
Is it?
It happens from time to time.
Yeah, it's. I'm trying to get. I see we have people watching, so and I'm trying to get my spelling right, and I'm not because.
What are you trying to do?
That beautiful. Huh?
What are you trying to do, brother?
The lovely. I press this button and it says subscribe and justify our existence. That's right. We need justification, man.
Sure. Okay, we'll take that. Why not? Anyway, point is, Quinn Snyder is a Bond villain, and the Utah Jazz are very good. And Joe Ingles was hitting 3-pointers with his bald spot and looked fantastic.
That's nice, man, and especially like Utah with that story. Two years in a row, just getting whooped by fucking Jordan and the Bulls. It's good to see a franchise that's that finally may have a shot at winning a championship. I mean, they're almost like Cleveland in a way because 2016 was a weird year. Can I just say that? Like for Cleveland sports, especially, like that was
that was the year when all the celebrity died, right? Like Bowie and Prince died that year, and there's a bunch of other ones. That was like the celebrity death year. And it was just until 2020. It was one of those years like, man, it was one of those years where people were like, and this year really sucked until like 2020 happens. Like, oh, this could be worse. But one of the best things was that my Cavaliers won the NBA championship, and that was amazing. It was so great. Finally, as a Cleveland fan, getting a championship. And yes, of my 4 teams that I follow vigorously, Cavs are a 4th, although they're very high. I mean, it goes Browns, Indians, Browns, Ohio State football, Cleveland Cavaliers, like that. But I love them all.
Yeah, I remember. Where were you? Do you remember where you were when they won?
Yeah, I was at my brother's house in Dover at the time. He was living in Dover, and I watched it, and I just ran outside, and he lived like in town, and I went outside, and I just screamed as loud as I possibly could, and I kind of did lap around the yard because I was so excited. Yeah. Exactly. And that same day, I've talked about this before, I got that bone spur from that baseball I got hit with that same day.
Oh, yeah.
That day, it was Father's Day, 2016, and I hit that, and then I went to my brother's house, watched that game, and they won, and that was great.
Was that Father's Day?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. Now you got my brain going, because my dad said in his lifetime they would never no Cleveland sports team will ever win a thing in his lifetime. He passed away at 52, and what happens? They win on Father's Day. It's just a coincidence that I see. But I was in Twinsburg at my girlfriend at the time's house, and we were watching the game, and I think we were watching WWE. I would force her to watch WWE just because, one, I paid for the WWE network, didn't want to miss any matches. But yeah, dude, like I remember because she lived over by like a bunch of bars, and you could hear everybody cheering and screaming from miles away. Like it was palpable at how good, like that, and it was shocking. It was fucking shocking. Like even for a guy like me who's not really a big Cleveland sports fan, like it was just I've lived here my whole life, and you're used to the lovable loser, and all of a sudden, fuck, we're number 1. How did that happen? Like what the where did this come from? It's one of those days I'll never forget, just because like the next day everybody was happy.
Yeah, I know, right?
I've never seen so many people in Cleveland happy. It disturbed me.
I think my brother had to work the next day or something, and his kid was young, so like he went to bed or something. And I'm like, I have to go get a beer somewhere. So I called up everybody. I'm like, who's? So me and Marty Drexler, who went to get a beer somewhere, but like everyone was gone by then. I'm like, oh, okay. I thought people were gonna be out partying. I'm like, it's kind of boring. I was pretty excited though. It was great. Still hoping the lifetime I see the Browns Super Bowl or the Cleveland baseball team, whatever they are called, in the future. Apparently they had like 1,200 names that they're trying to whittle down. So that should be fun. The more I look at it, I'm like, man, I wish
be the name.
I hate that. I'll take it because whatever it is, I'm not going to hate them.
It's their first franchise.
No, it's
name,
not.
though.
No, it's not, Ray.
I thought it was.
I read that in an article and it pissed me off. No, the Cleveland Spiders were a completely different franchise. They were a National League franchise. They weren't the same franchise. The franchise that became the Cleveland Indians were playing as, I think, the Naps then or something when the Spiders were around. I mean, they're a different team. There's 2 teams in Cleveland. They're a different team. Yeah, that pisses me off when people say that. Yeah, that's one of the main reason I don't want to. Well, that and I don't like spiders, but I'll take it.
Yeah, you're
I'll
a pussy.
Whatever it is. Yeah, sure. Arachnophobic, whatever. Whatever.
Great fucking movie, by the way. Great fucking movie.
Is that the one with Jeff Daniels?
Jeff Daniels, John Goodman plays an exterminator. My dad loved that movie because
that is a good movie.
John Goodman was an exterminator.
So, okay, now that you said that, I just expect your father was just basically John Goodman in that movie. Was it just
about the same height and weight, probably? Yeah. But like, yeah, man, like that was the one thing that I found weird as a kid was like my dad was an exterminator. And I remember one time looking at him and being like, you realize you're basically just a legal hitman, correct? Like, that like people just call you up and take care of the problem. And it made me like laugh whenever I would think about that. I'm like, yeah, my dad's a contract killer. And he probably actually was, but he's dead. So nobody will know.
Is that why? Is that what happens when he found out?
Oh, if my dad was, I would laugh so hard and be like, it makes so much sense. He's like Richard Kuklinski almost.
That's why for a while I thought my father might have been, because he was in the army, and like I think like the joke is like someone says like they're a mechanic in the army. I'm like, okay, you're just a mechanic, and really they're like special ops or something. Mm-hmm. My father was a mechanic in the army, so he was only in his 4 years and he was done, so he probably wasn't a contract killer, but you never know.
No.
He never
he
talked
was
about it.
Actually working on tanks, not killing like Ruskies.
Probably.
He was putting the tread on him. He was putting the tire tread on him. That's what he was doing. That actually takes balls, to be honest with you.
I'm sure, man. Look, listen, every single job in the military is important. All right. Listen, like Mark Riccadonna, our friend, our very funny comic who's done USO shows. He's like, dude, I would go to the guy checking the air pressure and tires and be like, dude, that's a great job you're doing, because it's important. It's all important. Yeah. He thinks his job's shit because he's the guy who has to check the air pressure. Well, guess what? If the air pressure isn't high, everything's fucked. Right? Every single thing they do is important. So yeah, and they all signed up to do whatever they needed to do, right? So just because the guy checking the air pressure doesn't mean that's not important. It's 100% important. And if things get into really shit, they'll have to do other shit. So yeah, hopefully maybe they only have to check the air pressure. But yeah,
yeah, you all.
I would love to do USO.
Be nice to service people. I'm technically falling to like service of like doing stuff for people, and I've run into.
Talk about this, Ray.
What?
Talk about this, Ray. How why didn't you go to the military? Are you a pussy?
No, actually, I did take the ASVAB test. I got a very low score, because like I was terrible at math. I wanted to be in the Coast Guard, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually wanted to be in like
Coast Guard, probably.
What?
I could handle Coast Guard, probably.
I mean, they wanted like a 95 on like the ASVAB test, and I think I got like a 35. I was terrible. Like I knew nothing when I was a kid. I was awful. I was one of those stereotypical like what Republicans say are like 18 to like 21 or 25-year-olds. I was
me too.
Oh, I was an awful human being. Oh, like a lot of the stuff that I've said and did in my life is just like why?
Terrible student, and laziness has always been my issue.
That was one of the things that I'm talking about when I'm like I'm terrible. I was an awful student though. I was an IEP student. So
what's that? I don't know what that is.
Integrated education program basically meant, you remember going by like in your high school and you'd see like a classroom of like 4 people and they're all like
I know you're talking about. We had a different name for it. I forget what it was called, but it wasn't that.
Stupid kids, because that's what I called it.
OWP. It was like a work program. Like they did all their normal classes with like one teacher that walked them through everything.
Oh no, this is different. This is different. Like I was always in like classes with like maximum like 6 or 7 people.
That's what I'm talking about. Like I think that one teacher like working most of the stuff, and then you didn't work. Okay, this is like
no. This is different.
Yeah, they work for the school. It's one of the school's ways to let's push them through easier, and then they can help the janitors out, so we don't have to pay more people to help the janitors.
There were some kids that would do that, but I was an athlete, so like I was basically in there because I was just dumb. I was a moron, but I played hockey, so I ran track.
I think after my freshman year, because I think they started it with sophomores, so they like called me to a meeting to try to get me to do it. And I was a freshman. I'm like, this sounds cool. I want to do this. And my mother's like, you're not doing this. And I give her credit, 100% credit, because like it was the right thing to do. Don't push you in the no. Would it made it any difference right now? No, but the right thing to do is to not let me do that. And she saw it, and I thought it was cool, and it wasn't cool. It wasn't the thing for me. So
no,
it was she did the correct thing and not let me do that.
Mine was purely
right.
educational based. Like there were times where I was in a room with like 4 kids who were special needs and like 2 kids who had been on probation for like 4 times already by the time they were in the 8th grade. Like those were the kids I was around in school. And yeah, I basically got pushed through. No child left behind, motherfucker. Yeah. I got an exemption for my Ohio graduation tests and passed 4 of them. 4 out of the 5 first fucking try. The one I didn't do was math.
What's when did you graduate? 07?
07, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you were I think we talked about this before too, because you were the year after they switched the test up.
Yeah.
There used to be because I remember there used to be a freshman test, and after that we were the last year and we took that. So like we were on the practice group for the sophomore test. So we had to come early, and everybody else got to come like an hour later to school. So we had to come to take the test, and we knew it didn't count. So how much do you think I tried on that? Like
0.
I didn't even read the questions. I just filled out the Scantron.
Yeah, when I found out I got my exemption, like I'll never forget that day because it was a weird like day. I found out I got my exemption, and I took all the tests normally, and I was like, all right, let's see if I can pass these 5 in with like the least amount of effort. Like literally I want to pass, but with like a C the entire way. And I get my results after getting the exemption and everything. And I look at the paper and I go, C. And I went, what the fuck? And the only one, again, because I suck at it, was math. Like that was the only one where I was like, I would literally look at teachers and go, I'm exempt from this. I'm going to fill out the Scantron, but I graduate either way. Like, what do you want me to do? You know?
Yeah, me and math, same thing. Like one of the reasons why I stopped trying college is because I had to take math classes, and I'm like, ugh. The last time I went, I'm like, just to see if I can get through a semester without doing math, and then eventually I'll go back and do the math classes. But then I gave up on it before I even got to that point. So. Although, like, I did better in college than I did in high school. One of the reasons is because I was on some ADHD. I wasn't on Adderall, but I was on something, and it helped a bit.
Concerta, maybe?
No. Concerta is like the same. It was Strattera, I think, which isn't like they'll give me Strattera again now, which is I might try Strattera because it's not like an upper. It's a little bit, but not like Adderall is. It's different. So I might try that again because it worked for me a little bit in high school. But it's a long time ago, so we'll see. Anyway, we're talking about school and talking about that program you were in. My brother was in the second. There's a career center right by me, the Buckeye Career Center. It's
yeah, I know of it.
Okay, well, basically what you do is in your junior and senior year, you go there and you take the rest of your your English and your math, whatever. Sometimes you do some of them at your home school. Then you go over to Buckeye, which is just down the road from New Philly. Although a lot of schools go to Buckeye, but it's right by New Philly. And then my brother took biodiesel mechanics. So that's what he did in high school. He took bio, and he worked. He worked at a small engine repair, actually also right by where I live now, small engine repair shop. He fixed lawnmowers and shit, and he made minimum wage, and the guy charged like $100 an hour for labor.
Wow.
Yeah, so he got out of that pretty quick. But anyway, for him, that's good because the kind of stuff he does now. Now he works hydraulic cylinder shit. But he worked, he did that kind of stuff before, and anyway. Are we done talking about education? There we go.
Possibly, I don't know.
This fun? Was this fun about talking about education? You want to talk about
I
our
love
problems with
talking
the
about
education?
like my high school years, dude, because my high school years were weird. Like I witnessed violence on a regular basis in a predominantly white school, but just
was there too many people, too many students,
probably.
teachers? You probably had like big class sizes, right? Like at least
30.
Well, I mean, we had 30, but yeah, 35 is a lot. Like,
I
yeah, I think don't think we often got more than 30, but like 35 is a lot, so like,
yeah. I mean, I remember vividly, and it was one of those moments where I was like, I'm going to keep my head down and never really do anything to like piss people off in this school. I remember going to hockey practice. I think it was my sophomore year. I want to say, yeah, it was my sophomore year. And I came out of my last class before hockey practice, and I'd heard some commotion. You hear boom, and apparently this kid got into a fight. This guy rammed his face into the trophy case in high school. And he was on like blood thinners and shit. Like, so when he was just laying on the ground, fucking just out, like I'm talking, oh man, what's a great knockout? Lando Venata doing that wheel kick a few years ago, and he just goes like this out. He's laying face first, and there is, Tim, when I say this, some of the reddest blood I've ever seen in my life just on the floor coming out of this kid's head. And the thing that was funny to me about it was the janitor who had the bucket and the kid's still laying there. He's trying to clean the blood.
Oh,
it was so fucking. It's one of those memories I'll always have in my life of like, I remember when I saw someone get fucked up, or like the aftermath of somebody who got fucked up.
Yeah, I think I told you this before too, probably on this podcast, but our poor janitor found a dead body on the steps one day.
You've never said this story.
I haven't?
No.
I thought I did. Okay. Well,
this is turning into Stand By Me really quickly, and I love
it. not really. No, it was a student and a guy I liked a lot. He was really cool kid. I
never
didn't
mind.
realize.
Sorry.
No one realized that he was going through shit, and it all. He walked several miles to the school in the middle of the night and shot himself on the steps of the school, and the janitor found him. And the next day, like they announced it on the morning now, and the whole day was just ended up leaving. It was bad. It was awful. Actually, at homeroom, his girlfriend sits behind me. She was bawling. I'm like, what's going on? Is she all right? And then they said that. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It was a bummer. Yeah. And it was just like not a whole lot happened that day. And then they said on announcements, hey, you guys can leave. Your parents call. So yeah. I called my mom and like, can you just, I'm like, nothing's happening here anyway. And it's super sad and super boring. Everyone's bummed. So she's like, whatever. Yeah, leave. So
my high school,
it sucked. It was a bummer, man. I'll never forget that. And that sucked. That was just, it was such a, like, I mean, the whole school's affected by it. Even the people who didn't know who he was. And I did, because he was in my class and I liked the kid a lot. I still have I think I do a shirt that I just remember letting him borrow in gym class, and whatever reason I just remember that shirt. I remember what shirt it was. It was my New York, New Jersey Hitman shirt.
Nice XFL,
the XFL, and I just remember whatever reason I see that shirt, I just remember him. But it was just such a bummer. I mean, that 9/11. I had a couple years up to 9/11. Like, we remember what happened when we were at school in 9/11, and after that happened, and it was just
I don't think you've ever said that one. What's your? But I'll say this about the whole suicide thing.
It was sad.
For a hot minute, my school was like suicide central. When my senior year, and I know we're supposed to be talking about MMA, but again, we've said it many times. Like, if we talk just about MMA every episode, we're gonna go fucking crazy. And
we'll get to it, man. There's fights. We're gonna get to it.
Yeah, we talked Clarissa Shields winning. That was a great time. But there was actually a documentary made about the suicides that happened my senior year, and one was kind of like,
there's a documentary made about your school. It's probably not very great.
No, it was.
Anyone check out Roll Red Roll on Netflix. Everybody, Roll Red Roll, Steubenville High School. Steubenville was a monster powerhouse in football, and that they all still are. But that was I can't believe that coach stayed. After that happened, I know it wasn't his fault, but it's just his guys, So anyway,
yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about, watch the movie. Roll Red Roll. It's on Netflix. So
I don't even remember the name of. I don't even remember the name of the documentary about my schools, about the suicides of my school, because I don't want to remember that. Like, because one of the kids that like should have gotten more attention but didn't, because I mean, today, if this was to happen today and we were in school now, like my one friend would have been a bigger topic, because she was part of the LGBTQ community, and like her dad was abusive, but they focused on this one guy who, like, he would wear a monkey around his fucking neck and like body and shit, like one of those like Velcro monkeys or whatever that you can like wrap around things.
Okay.
And like that was basically the entire movie. Like they didn't really focus on my friend, because of the fact that I don't know why they didn't focus on her, because she had a way worse home life.
Probably because it makes them look worse for not helping her and ignoring her.
Well, yeah, right? No, it doesn't. And it makes me mad that this documentary came out and it was just about this fucking kid and it wasn't about the other ones, because of the fact that like her fucking home life was terrible. Like I was technically a neighbor. She lived behind me in the actual like, you know, housing or the, what do you call it? Development behind me, whatever you want to call it, or the neighborhood behind me, because I was on a main road and shit. But like it's a terrible documentary, horrible, and it makes Menor look worse than it actually is, which is like you get some fucking people that make that. But we did have like 3 suicides in 1 year, and my friend Miranda, who was one of them. I'll never forget that day. My varsity hockey jacket, I hadn't added track yet to it, and I was in welding class because we had welding. Like that's how big we were back in the day. Like welding was actually a class that you could take, and I found out, and like you said, I took basically the rest of the day off. Like it was I sat in the courtyard. It was a bad day. Like it hurt because I loved that girl and she was awesome, and it's a horrible thing. But fuck those people that made that movie, because you just focused on one fucking asshole and you didn't focus on every single one. To me, at least.
Did the news come when that happened? Because the news came like
no.
Although I think it's only no. I think some kids almost got in a fight with some people from Fox 8, because of course it was Fox 8.
Well, I mean, they killed themselves off campus. They didn't kill themselves.
Okay, so we all heard it. We're all having a terrible day. Then all of a sudden, like, you know, halfway through the day, the news trucks come and everyone's motherfuckers. Yeah, and of course it wasn't all of them. I remember it was Fox 8. I think that may have been the only one. And of course it was Fox 8, man. Of course. Anyway, Fox. Anyway, yeah, and everyone was pissed about it. Anyway, what I was going to say, by the way, I hope we're making your day better, guys. Hope you're having a fun time with the Bro Plata podcast.
We are the best podcast on the planet.
Put on your happy face and talk about high school suicide.
Sunday, Monday, suicide.
Anyway, a lot when people talk a lot about, I'm not trying to compare them too much, but about police having to do more than just police. Like they're also they have to deal with people with mental health issues and stuff. Like same thing with teachers, really, man. They kind of they're supposed to just be there to, you know, teach you stuff and push you through, but a lot of times they kind of have to be like, you know, community counselors and stuff too, and stuff they didn't necessarily sign up for. That's tough, man. I haven't talked to my buddy about that. He's been teaching just a couple years now, I think, and I just saw him recently. I should have asked him about that. I should have when I talked to him. He was the guy who I was supposed to go on that road trip with this week. It didn't happen, but it's all right.
Yeah, I mean that's.
And he's lost a lot of those games I was supposed to go to too. So
I feel bad for teachers. I feel bad for cops in a way.
That's another thing too. I mean, because like, what if that gets on you? You're like, I'm not the one that could. If like a student confides in you, and you're just like, I'm not the guidance counselor.
Yeah.
Guidance counselor. You try to do the right thing, right? But and I'm sure there's some teachers that are like, I'm not here for that, and just don't give a shit. I know teachers.
Oh
like that.
fuck yeah!
They're just like, not here for that. Leave me alone. I'm like, all right. like I told you, but the one teacher I had that every time I'd ask him about something, he would tell the whole class, you get mad at you in front of the class for not listening the first time. I'm like, Dick, I have ADHD. You have to teach me everything twice.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I failed his class. And I had another teacher that I had him for study hall, and every day I would do my homework. I think like study hall was before his class in the day. So I'd do my homework from the day before in his study hall, and I didn't know it. He would walk me through it, and I got a great grade in his class. Duh. And my grades every year would depend on not the subject, but the teacher. Am I saying all teachers suck? No. It's just, you got to, I think they know it now. Like my friends that are teachers know that everyone learns differently. And like Marty Drexler, who you know, Marty Drexler is one of the nicest people on earth. He would never say that. He never, ever said that. He walk you through it till you got it, man. It's his job. That's his job to make sure you know this, not yell at you for not getting it. Anyway, I don't think that teacher's there anymore. I was not a fan of that guy. He was weird and not nice. I'm just not
I had a few of those like weird subs, especially. Substitute teachers, like Menor had some of the weirdest substitute teachers I've
gotten drunk multiple times with a guy who was a substitute a bunch when I was in high school. He's not that much older than me, like a few years. So it's not weird now. But I'm like, dude, you used to be my sub, man. And he's like, yeah, I gave up on teaching. He went back to school to become a nurse. Good guy. I won't say his name, but he's a good guy. And wrestler. He coached wrestling too.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's very few teachers I remember. My social stuff or my history teacher in high school, my sophomore year, was kind of cool. He was the what the fuck's it called? Lacrosse coach. So he was like, me and him bonded over Blast Lacrosse, if you remember that game.
Nope.
It was like a PS1 lacrosse game with the major leagues or National Lacrosse League, the indoor stuff.
Something crazy happened in a pro lacrosse game recently. Keep saying what you're saying. I'm going to look this up.
All right. If you find it, send it to me. We'll watch whatever it is. Cause I love lacrosse, dude. Like lacrosse is awesome. But I remember one day I was sleeping in or I had my head down in his class and I was already done with like the assignments cause it was all open book shit. And I was wearing a Buffalo Bandits lacrosse shirt. And he was like, "Are you into lacrosse?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he actually asked me like why I didn't come out for the lacrosse team. And I'm like, I like track a lot more because I did. I liked track and field because if you ran track and field ever, you know how awesome it can be to watch women in basically almost nothing running in front of you. It's that's one of the reasons why I kept doing it.
Why do you think I played tennis, bro? Although I play with dudes, but I mean, if you play with the dudes, you can practice with the girls in the fall. So yeah,
it's like that was. But we bonded one day over Blast Lacrosse, and what I loved about Blast Lacrosse is what the fuck's the guy with the gravelly voice that's on the radio? Scott Farrell. Scott Farrell. No, it's you're not doing me right. Why aren't you doing me right?
That's all I got. That's the best I got. Don't want to hurt myself too much.
I think I also have a new character. He might be calling soon, just to let you know. I told him to call during the show.
Don't tell him to call.
I did. I'm sorry. He was very excited. He said he had some evidence about some machines or something. I don't know. It was an odd text. It was an odd text. I think I'm getting one from him right now. It says, I'll be texting soon and I will talk to you in a minute. That's not a good time. That's he's gonna I think he's gonna get us kicked off of YouTube especially. So that's gonna be fun.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's a weird guy. I've been texting him for a couple days now. But yeah, man, like it's fun, especially like lacrosse. One of my goals this year next year is to go to a National Lacrosse League game in Buffalo because the Bandits still exist. And actually,
Columbus that was a team for a while, didn't they?
Yeah, they're one of like the original charter teams for the National Lacrosse League, and they're former champions of the league too. The reason I know that is fucking when I went to UFC 210, I saw the championship banners for the Buffalo Bandits. I'm like, they fucking won championships? Like, what the hell, man? But it was like a basic PS1 video game. But at the same time, like we bonded over like Blast Lacrosse, which I thought was dope. Like, to be honest with you, because that's such a what's the word, a niche video game for somebody to know what it is.
There was a time I remember. Well, EA Sports did it a lot. They try to make video games out of weird sports like rugby and arena football and stuff. And
I bought the arena football games.
I played it. It's fun, but
yeah,
it's just weird. And there's other ones too.
But yeah. Oh fuck. God damn it, Tim. I have to take a call. I'm gonna put the. Yeah, I got the calls coming through. Hold on. I'm gonna take myself off the stream and put you as the camera. Hold on. God damn it.
What's happening? Oh, geez, Ray's doing this again. You know what, Ray? Why does he do this? Okay, he's taking a call from somebody apparently. Someone he was talking about. I don't know who he's talking to or about, but apparently a call's coming in. So we'll talk about fights after this. And is that why people left? Just because we're not talking about fights? That's okay. I don't really care. Listen, we'll get to them. All right, we'll get to them. Bellator is also on tonight. Douglas Lima's fighting tonight. Should be fun. I'll watch it tomorrow, maybe. So who's tomorrow? Today. Tomorrow. Got the middleweight championship. You got Izzy and Vittori too. You got the rematch of Figueiredo. That's his name. Damn it. Figueiredo and Moreno. That last fight was a draw a while back, and then the 5-round fight between Diaz and
Edward. Tim.
Hello.
Hi. Oh my God, I'm a big fan of yours, and I want you to know, in the great state of Minnesota, where my pillow is made. If you don't know who I am, it's Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy. How are you?
I'm solid, Mike. Why?
Not much.
How are you? What's going on?
Good. I'm here in the My Pillow factory. I'm telling all my workers to work harder because I'm gonna make a Tim Danko pillow.
Oh yeah? What's it gonna look like?
Tim Danko pillow will be able to put you to sleep while he's saying his act. That's the kind of pillow the Tim Danko pillow is gonna be.
All right. So it's gonna have like a microchip or something that tells my jokes.
Yes, it's gonna have a microphone right where the ear is, and it's gonna
the ear is. Okay.
Right in the middle of the pillow. In the middle of the pillow, and it's gonna have your act playing softly into their ear because the Democrats want to talk about follow the science, but nobody listens to the science that Tim Danko for 5 minutes is like eating 5 Vicodin. It puts you out quick.
I don't know if that's true because I just mostly scream most of my act. But anyway, so do you watch fights, man? Are you a fight guy? What are you calling into this show?
I am. I watch from the My Pillow factory all the MMA fights. Why? Because my wife kicked me out years ago when I was a crack cocaine addict.
Okay.
That's why I sound like this. It's my dentures from meth mouth.
Okay. That makes sense. So let's see. Who you got tomorrow then?
I really like that Donaldson Figueiredo. Is that how you say his name?
Close enough.
He hits people harder than My Pillow does. I'm telling you.
I thought My Pillow was supposed to be soft.
It is, but in a sorority pillow fight, it's definitely a dangerous weapon.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. How can you say it's super soft, but at the same time it's a dangerous weapon? Explain yourself.
It depends. Are you getting hit by the fat girl with hips? Because if you are, it's gonna put you out faster than Vitor Belfort and Anderson Silva's foot.
All right, Mike.
Why
do you
do I
have anything-
sound like Jesse Ventura?
I was gonna say the same thing. I'm like, I honestly thought before you told me who you were, Mike, I thought you were Jesse Ventura.
Wait,
like, what is the body
wait,
calling
Tim.
you?
I'm getting a call. I should be back, but
Don't ever come back. Please never come back. Alex Jones can come back. You're not allowed to come back. Get out of here, Mike, from My Pillow. Biden is the president.
I'm gonna go
He's
lay
the real
down in the
president.
pillow.
Get out of here. Get out
I'm
of here.
gonna go
watch
lay down
Fox
in the
News.
pillow I discovered when I smoked rock.
He became a UFC fan when Brian Kilmeade was announcing fights. No. Well, that was a swing and a miss, Mike, from My Pillow. Honestly, the first thing I thought when I heard his voice was, holy shit, the body is calling me. This is Jesse Ventura. Jesse the Body Ventura. The governor is calling me.
Tim, I was listening to the podcast and I wanted to hear you say to me that you like me more than Mike Lindell. Help me.
No, that's 100.
Help me get over something right now.
That's 100% true, Alex Jones. Also, I'm going to tell you that this podcast probably won't be happening much longer because it's just turning to complete shit. And I apologize. It's not.
What are you talking about? We had the videos that you guys have thousands and thousands of viewers.
That's not true.
I see you guys. I watch every day.
Every day.
Every day. I've watched all the interviews that you can get on Spotify. You can get on a bunch of places. And that Ray guy, he's a piece of shit. I don't like Ray.
Yeah.
He's not a good Christian like me. He wants the frogs to be gay, Tim. He wants the frogs to be gay.
He wants them all to be gay. He has a tattoo and it says, "I love gay frogs."
Yes.
It's true.
So, I did it to him. He came down to Austin and I gave him that I like all gay frogs. That was
for him. You're a prison scratcher too on your off time.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Alex, we love to be on your show. Let us come on InfoWars. We love to, well, not Ray. Fuck Ray. Me. I would love to come on InfoWars.
All right, yeah. I want you on to talk about the Aurora Borealis. I hear you're an expert in aliens and all kinds of the New World Order, if you will.
That's true. I got shit to say. I know where bodies are buried.
All right, Tim. Well, I'm gonna hop off, and it was good seeing you. And
good talking to you, buddy.
I think somebody else is calling.
I really hope no one else is calling. Listen, this is such a dud. Such a dud. I don't know. Is anyone finding this interesting? I really hope they do, because it'd be great if you found this interesting. We keep doing it, but I think it's just terrible. We have these people keep calling in, and there's not even enough jokes. It's just they all sound like they have colds. It's just terrible. Everything about this is bad. Cousin Mike is watching and he hasn't given up yet. Let's thank God for Mike.
Tim Danko. Tim.
This is the My Pillow guy is back. I told you not to call anymore, Mike.
No, this is another Minnesota great. This is the conspiracy man himself.
Is this Joe Mauer? Is it Joe Mauer calling me? Prince? Is it Prince from Back from the Dead?
No, I'm the governor. I was a fighter, a Marine. A Navy SEAL. I am Jesse the Body Ventura.
I like how you forgot what branch of the military you were in.
I was worked up, Monsoon.
Okay. Sorry. All right, Body. What's up? What you got for us, man? Are you fans of Alex Jones and the My Pillow guy? You like those guys?
I like the My Pillow guy because we both sound the same, but he's also into more conspiracies than I am.
Is it true? Hey, speaking of that, what do you think about president? I know you were a Republican governor, right? So what do you think about president currently?
Independent.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. And you did run for president. You ran for president of Alaska for some reason. And tell me, what was the thought behind that? Because all you were going to do is just take votes from other people. You weren't going to win anything. So why did you run for governor of president of just Alaska? You got some votes. You did all right.
Well, I mean, I was a former AWA tag team champion, so I know what it means to win.
Is that qualifies you to be president of Alaska?
Yes. I make sure that the Kodiak Bears stay in their part of the state, if you know what I mean.
Oh, God. I hope I don't know what you mean.
Yes.
You just took a hard right turn, Jesse the Body.
I saw what they did to Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant. I don't want Kodiak Bears to be anywhere near where I'm at.
Are you talking about Kodiak Bears or are you talking about Kodiak Bears?
Well, they can stay also away from the polar bears. Want to know why? You get a Kodiak bear together and a polar bear together, it makes a damn good bear. And we need to hunt those damn good bears.
Are you trying to keep Kodiak Bears out of baseball too, Jesse?
No, they can play whatever. I don't care. I just don't want them near the president's mansion.
Your president, Joe Biden. Is that your president?
I like Joe because we both have the same amount of CTE.
That's probably true. Well, listen. What are you doing now, Jess? You going to run for? Listen, you ran for. You were governor of Minnesota. Are you in Alaska now? Because you ran for president. Listen, you're more than qualified to be governor of Alaska. People I know from Alaska, which is one. I know one person from Alaska, but she hates her governor. So you going to run for governor of Alaska anytime soon?
No, I don't want to be Sarah. I don't want to follow what they call a skirt in Sarah Palin.
That was years ago.
I don't know who the governor is, God damn it. I live off the grid.
I believe his name is Mike Dunleavy. I could be wrong.
It?
If I'm right, I'm surprised. The only reason I know that is because that's the name of a basketball player also. And I'm like, dude, is Mike Dunleavy? What's to play for the Cavs? He's the governor of Alaska? No, I'm pretty sure that's right. Let me look it up. You should know, Jesse. You live there. You live there, man. Yeah, Mike Dunleavy. You know what? Give me points for knowing the governor of Alaska, Mike Dunleavy.
Yeah, I am amazed you know that. And in fact, I am amazed you know who the guy is who knows a thing or two. That's how impressed I am.
Who knows a thing or two?
Adrian Adonis. He was my tag team partner in the 80s. We had matches against Greg Gagne, who's Vern Gagne's son.
Okay. Have
I ever told you about how I don't have time to bleed?
You don't have time to bleed?
No.
Is that something you would say like in an office when you were governor of Minnesota, when someone would ask you some questions about some sort of legislation or something? Would you be like, I don't have time to bleed? Is that one of the excuses you would use for maybe not signing a bill or something?
Yes, I made sure to have the entire place bugged because I wanted to know what the legislation was.
All right, Jesse.
Did I lose you, Tim, with my intelligence?
No, that's definitely not what happened. But you lost me one way or the other. I will ask you this: do you think there was any voter fraud in the election? Because listen, you did not win Alaska.
There was voter fraud.
Okay.
Of course. Okay. You have to look at it. Who doesn't want a man who's basically a houseplant to be in office when you could have a strong female behind him like Jill Biden?
So
what do you think I was going to say? Kamala? She's a moron.
All right. Once again, Jesse Ventura not liking the Kodiak Bears. That's just what we want to get.
No, it's not even that. It's not even that. I don't trust somebody named after a Marvel character.
Okay. Really?
Played Miss Marvel. You know who I'm talking about. She can stretch far.
Sure, man. All right. Okay. All right. Are we done? Listen, Jesse, we got to go. Hey, listen, Jesse, who do you got in the fights tomorrow? Who you got against? You got Izzy and Vittori. Who's going to win?
I really like the Italian fella.
Of course you do. How about Figueiredo and Moreno?
I hope that goes to another draw.
Why? Because you don't want to bring in Nor Mexican to win? Is that what it is?
No, I live in Mexico 5 years out or 5 years out of 10. So I am always down in Mexico and I know cerveza.
All right. How about Edwards and Diaz? Who's going to win that fight?
I like Nick Diaz. He reminds me of me when I was a kid. I was scrappy. I told you I was a Navy SEAL.
You said that after you said you were a Marine, but yeah.
Marine, whatever. I was a Marine in The Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. People say I don't like immigrants, but I love Arnold.
All right, Jesse. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on. Never call back. Good to have you on, man.
You don't have control.
Oh shit!
Have control.
Jesse the Body. This is the worst podcast on the internet. Jesse the Body Ventura has taken over the podcast. All right, he's gone now. I don't know what the hell is happening. This is just I don't know, man. I hope Ray comes back. We don't need any more phone calls. No, man. Listen, we're gonna start talking about fights here. You know what's weird? Like I feel like talking about fights is the work part of this, which is weird because I like fights, but it's just like, we just kind of like bullshitting. However, whatever that was, talking to those morons was the most work.
Sorry.
All right, Ray. Hey, man, that was a long shit you took. You feel better?
No, it was a phone call. Fucking the dude wouldn't get off the phone. Okay. And I mean, I'm sorry for Michael and Dallas showing up. That was weird. I told you he was going to call, and I told him he could.
He told me someone was going to call. You didn't tell me he was going to call.
He kept talking about Dominion machines. Like, it was odd. I don't get it.
He doesn't need to call back ever again.
I don't know, man. Every time we get those weird calls. Alex showed up. I found that out. Somebody texted me and said Alex Jones was on. I'm like, oh no. How did they get control? How did they get control is my question. I don't know how. I don't know,
man. Why do we only have hard right conspiracy theorists that call us, man? Why do we?
Because really, those are the only voices I can do.
Why don't we have that makes sense. Oh, Ray doesn't have an AOC impression he can bust out.
No, I'm not that dumb, but that's just me.
Hey, you know what? No, I'll say about her that I listen. Like, I know she's not perfect, but I know she gives a shit. So it's a lot more than I can say that a lot of people. Like, I know she's not always right, but at least I know she actually gives a shit. She doesn't care about a bunch of, other bullshit than other people call it. I know she cares. So at least she's trying, right? And I think she's someone who will learn things and learn from her mistakes. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. I don't
Casey
know.
was not enjoying the other phone callers. I mean, sorry, it definitely happens. They get a hold. I one drunken night I give them passwords to StreamYard. And
yeah, there you go.
Next thing you know.
We my cousin Mike was listening. We should have had cousin Mike on. It would have been a lot better. And also, if you still listen, my brother's out there by you right now. He's fishing. Oh, that's right.
Is he?
Fishing. Yeah. He went up there with his daughter.
I like to fish. I haven't done it in a long time.
I went fishing last week, and before that, the last time I went fishing was with Mike, my cousin Mike, and that was the last time I went fishing until last week. And
apparently he found them funny because Mike actually admitted he was laughing his ass off, which is great.
That's one. That's one. That's one.
And
Mike texted me the other day telling me that he's watching Streets of Fire. And he told me to watch this Buckaroo Banzai movie that I didn't watch yet, but I'll watch it. Nothing. It's an inside joke.
Is it?
Yeah, it's an inside joke.
Tell me after the show. That I want to know.
Well, it's not really anything bad. I just don't. It's just not.
I'm not
really
expecting anything it to be bad, but
it's not that. It's not funny. It's not that. Well, I mean, it is. It's an inside joke. It's not. It's so funny that only.
Oh man, but speaking of which, I'm going to drop this on the show right now.
Drop it. Do it.
because we sort of brought this up. We kind of begged our way onto this. But I'm happy we're finally going to do something with these guys. Monday, if you are an MMA Holes OG with us.
Well, that's the call-in show. Anyone can call in, so that's not a big deal.
Is it? Oh, I thought they wanted like just to like
no.
Oh.
No. But we'll do that. Well, I mean, we can't do it together, so one of us can call in, or both of us can call in at different times. That's fine. I'll call in first because no one cares about you. So, but maybe here's the thing: we'll do that, and then maybe they'll let us escape one time on a Wednesday, eventually. But no, the Mondays are calling show.
Open. To be honest with you, the door's open on this show too. Like if the MMA Holes want to come on this show,
they don't care.
They have an open invitation. No, I want to get to know these guys.
100%. 100%. I want to talk to them about the origins of
I want to have them on.
I have lots of questions. I have lots of questions, right? And maybe and also it may be, I don't know, some of the people who listen may not know the origins now because they probably are done talking about all that. But they'll talk about it with us because we don't know. So we love them. Check out the MMA Holes. They're fantastic. Are they doing a show now? They may be at the Bellator show.
It might be.
They did a show last night instead of today. I think they just.
Oh, okay. We took the day for ourselves.
Yeah. And I think Tuesdays was the only day we're gonna have for ourselves unless we start. Yeah, we'll figure Fridays out. Oh, it's like that's gonna, like we said, Tuesday we can do that. We can do Tuesday. That will be that's gonna happen every Tuesday, almost no matter what. And then
we will be doing this show every Tuesday. And we're gonna from now on.
Yeah, it's usually Thursday, Friday, or the Saturday matinee for us. So we'll see.
But we need to appreciate everybody being here. By the way, we actually I found this awesome, Tim. And this is how like low my expectations are, but I'm happy they're being like met every time. We've got about 31 subscribers, and we're starting to actually surpass the amount of subscribers or not amount of views than subscribers, which means people are finding us. And if you watch these episodes,
are they coming back, Ray? But are they coming back?
I think thousands of people.
I think thousands of people have probably tried to listen to us, but I don't know how many have stayed.
A few, which is always what we need.
Well, I mean, listen, of the something like 10% of probably the most that we had in an episode of probably that's not what we get most of the time. Like we've had maybe 100, a couple hundred, close to it, and then we maybe have like 20, 30. That's pretty good, actually. That's not bad.
Yeah. And that's every time we do a show now. We're starting to hit.
Also, send us comments. If you don't have a channel, you don't comment on Facebook or YouTube, send us an email. It's very easy. It's brobroplata@gmail.com. Easy.
Yes.
It's just
we answer them unless you're spam, because we get that a lot.
Get mostly spam. And Hopscotch Rob. Hopscotch Rob was pissed. So
yeah, Hopscotch Rob was not happy, and I mean he got banned as well, because by YouTube, not by me. I didn't turn anything off.
No. Hopscotch Rob is still banned. So
yeah, and that to me is hilarious. That like because like it makes me think.
He blames us for some reason. He blames us. He sends an email, gets mad at us because I made a joke because we had a new listener and who's commenting, and Ray was happy about it. So I made a joke that I was Hopscotch Rob to kind of like,
oh my god, the email,
throw shit on it. And he didn't get the joke. He was pissed. He sent an email. I could read it. You want me to read the email from Hopscotch Rob?
Yes, let's read the email because this is fan mail from an angry fan, somebody who's it
says, really, guys, is the subject. Bro Plata, tonight I watched the show for the first time. I enjoyed it up until the very end. Why did Tim say that he was secretly me? I can assure you that Tim and I are different people. Is this how you treat all of your new listeners? Like I said, I enjoyed you guys and I can forgive you, but I just wanted to say that was a dick move. Rob. Okay, sorry, Hopscotch Rob. I apologize. I'm sorry, Hopscotch Rob. Hopefully one day, he also told us that he was banned. Hopefully he can get unbanned one day so he could. I like Hopscotch
hopefully
Rob.
The suspension will be over by the time.
I don't know how that works. I don't know. We didn't do it. It was YouTube. Sorry, Hopscotch Rob.
I mean, that's the funny part is we've gotten strikes and we've gotten stuff taken off in the short time we've been live streaming on YouTube, but we've never had a commenter be banned that wasn't already banned by us. That's the fun part.
So me and my cousin Mike were smoking weed on this beach in New York, and I don't know why he called it. We called it 20. I think we said something like, tell people we were on 21 Jump Street. I don't know, it was something like that. I don't remember, but we were just. Everybody else was asleep. We were getting drunk, and then we ended up getting baked on the beach after we were already super drunk. That was a lot of fun. I missed that. My favorite part of that night was we went karaoke. Karaoke is my jam. I don't know if you know that, right? You do know that. I love karaoke. And Mike, who isn't a singer, got really drunk and sang "Walking to Memphis," which is always just great. And him, he was hammered and with all his heart, the man I am tonight, walking to Memphis. That's always great. Who doesn't love a good drunken walking in Memphis?
Oh God, I've seen that at karaoke, and
it's the best.
What's the wildest karaoke thing you've ever seen? Really?
That or anything I've done? Because there was time I used to sing "Smooth" by Santana and Rob Thomas that I would salsa dance with a random girl in the instrumental break every time. Every time.
Look at you being all Wayne Newton with it. I like it.
I stopped doing it when I got fat and creepy looking because now it just got weird. But it wasn't weird for a while there. It wasn't weird. It was neat. It was cool. Then all of a sudden, it was less cool.
I remember there were these two guys at Corky's in Lakewood, which is a karaoke bar, and they were dressed like the Blues Brothers, singing Blues Brothers songs. It was dope. It was so much fun.
Two of my buddies went to prom together in New Philly dressed as the Blues Brothers. My buddy didn't have a date, so he asked my other buddy who went to a different school, but they let him come anyway. They didn't say anything. They're like, okay, whatever, he can come. They dressed as the Blues Brothers, and when they had the court where they had announced everyone, whatever, they had the teacher doing that announced them as the Blues Brothers, and they all came out and they all high-fived everyone, and one was holding a harmonica. And they looked like the Blues Brothers. One was built like Buscemi, and one was built like Dan Aykroyd at that time. So it was great.
Whoa,
and they killed it.
Whoa. Who?
That's the Buscemi. Belushi, sorry. Belushi.
I'm like
incorrectly. Steve Buscemi. No, all right. Belushi.
I'm grabbing your comedy card. You're done. You're done with comedy.
Because I've been drinking and I pronounced the name wrong? No, okay.
Belushi. Well, you pronounce all kinds of names.
Anyway, I do that all the time. That's not new.
You talk some fights, buddy, because I do want to break these down and kind of preview what's going to happen tomorrow.
No.
No?
All right. No, we can do it. Let's do it. Fights.
All right.
Fights,
bitches. It's the best.
So,
oh my God. And this whole card is this is one of the wackiest MMA cards I've ever seen in my life. And it's mainly because of the fact that this is a very interesting card, because we now have 3 5-round fights, and one of them is a non-title fight.
Weird, whatever. Either way, I'll enjoy it. Fine. I don't know. It's gonna make that's the thing. It's a weird precedent now that they're gonna do it all the time. Now it's weird. I hope they do it once and never do it again. But I think they will. They'll be like, this is whatever. Also, this was supposed to be a co-main event of the last card, right? So it wasn't. They weren't. If this was supposed to originally be on the card with 2 title fights, they probably would not have done it. But that was not what we're trying to do, and they had to push it a card, and they pushed it to this one. Anyway, it's been a little over 3 years since Israel Adesanya fought. I was going to go back to the main event. Let's go to the main event.
All right, yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Fought Marvin Vettori for the first time. You know where they fought, Ray?
Glendale, Arizona.
Boom! You killed it, man. They fought at Gila Arena and Glendale, Arizona, the same place they're fighting tomorrow night, 3 years ago, and they're doing it again. And this time for the title, going to be a little bit different because Adesanya learned some lessons against Vettori that first time. Very close fight, split decision for Adesanya. I think they got it right, but it's very close. Dude, Adesanya, awesome. I love him. a little bit exposed last fight against Jan Blachowicz. He did get beat. However, Jan was able to take him down and kind of grind him out for the decision.
And 20
However,
pounds.
I was going to say the same thing. You didn't even give me a chance. It's not like I do that to you all the time. I do it to you all the time. Anyway, yeah. The lot of part about it is that he outwit. Listen, Vettori will probably most likely also be a little bit bigger than Adesanya, but not that much, right? So that'd be a little bit of it. And Vettori did a great job taking down Kevin Holland. However, I think Adesanya is going to learn some of those lessons. Vettori is going to come forward a lot. Excuse me, and possibly clinch up, but no one moves and no one uses their distance as good in the UFC right now as Izzy.
Great.
It was Anderson Silva, but now he's passed the torch to Israel Adesanya, and he's the guy. I think Israel's going to win this fight, but I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a 5-round war. It's going to be maybe a point fight. I think Vettori is going to do. He's going to try to use his brawler mentality and try to get in there, and he'll probably get his body on him, and maybe he'll even take him down. But I think Izzy has learned some lessons, and he's able to has some takedown defense, and going to say Vettori doesn't have 30 pounds on him. He may have just a little bit of size on him, not that much. Also, both guys are great when it comes to cardio for 5-round fights, so that would be fine. I think it's going to be a 5-round war, a decision, and I think Izzy's going to get it because he's going to use his distance and his technical striking to evade the clinches and the takedowns of Vettori and get some good strikes in from the outside because he's long and he's fantastic. And like I said, he uses distance better than anyone. He's the man. He's going to come back off that loss to Jan and keep his belt. I love Vettori, big fan of his, but Izzy's going to look like pure, awesome, top-notch Izzy and beat a very, very, very very, 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 very tough Martin Vettori.
See, I have some concerns coming off of that Jan Blachowicz fight.
Okay, that's fair.
And I'm not saying that Izzy can't beat Marvin Vettori because he obviously and absolutely can. The problem with Marvin Vettori that I see is as long as even if he gets him to the ground, because Izzy does have a bit of defense for that, to be able to do that. I honestly agree with you. If Izzy keeps his distance, he'll be fine. He will have every single advantage on planet Earth compared to Marvin Vettori. My biggest concern is how much did Jan Blachowicz expose of Israel Adesanya in that title fight is my question. And yes, there was 20 pounds. There was all that shit. But Jan beat him up for 5 fucking rounds.
And I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is I think he exposed enough for Izzy to fix it.
Possibly. I'm not saying that he couldn't fix it. Right. I just want to see if he fixed it.
And that's the thing is I think he did. But you know what? This is one of those that I'm not going to give you any shit for thinking differently than me on this one because I could absolutely see Vettori winning this fight. What are the odds? Do you have the odds pulled up?
Let me look on the odds, or let me look on the website here for the odds and see if UFC finally has them up. Yes, Izzy is a 286 favorite according to DraftKings. That's
a big favorite.
And Marvin Vettori is a plus 225 underdog on this fight.
I wouldn't have that far apart. Listen, it's weird. I'm picking Izzy, but and this doesn't make any sense when I'm saying this, but I'm if you want to bet on, if you absolutely wanted to bet on this fight, Vettori wouldn't be a bad bet. That's how close I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be very close. I think
Vettori's a great bet on this because of the fact that he does have that knockout power, and if he gets in there,
I don't think that's
throws a good one. I think he could shut fucking Izzy's lights off.
I think that's the last thing that will happen. I think if he beats him, he grinds him out to a decision like he did, like Jan did to him, and that Vettori did to Kevin Holland. Although I don't think it would be quite as easy. I think Vizzy has a a little bit more takedown defense than Kevin Holland does. But
we got a guy here, real quick, who comments. He's like, Jan dominated Izzy on the ground at 205. Yes, agreed. We brought that up that it was a 20-pound, but after loss of the way it was happening, Izzy's takedown defense is still there.
That's what I'm saying. She knows what I'm talking about. This is JBM from MMA Host, by the way. Thank you for being here.
Hey, JBM, how are you? But yeah, no, I don't know. I sometimes a loss can fuck someone up, dude. Like that's the thing. We've seen it before. It's not like we haven't seen like somebody who's on a dominant path.
Breaking. Listen again, Ray. Full of shit as always. Full of shit. This guy. Anyway, he didn't break him. He was so much bigger than he was. Listen, and plus, if there's anything there's need to be learned, he's going to learn it, and he's going to be victorious. That's what I'm saying. Ray, you're full of shit. Once again, moving on to the next fight.
All right. And then
Ray,
I haven't listened to the show. I'm an asshole. I know that.
That's right. Ray doesn't give a shit about anyone other than Ray. We all know this.
So let me read the betting odds for the next fight. Your flyweight 125-pound championship match. Davidson Figueiredo right now is a minus 250 or a minus 250 favorite versus Brendan Moreno, who these guys went the distance to a draw in their last match. We were together for that, actually. And
no, we weren't.
What?
No, we saw the Perez fight, didn't we?
No, it was the Moreno fight when it was the draw. Fight.
I don't think that's true. It doesn't matter. Not important.
It might have been Perez.
I thought it was Perez.
That was the
Perez.
joke, yeah.
Anyway, okay, so this was a draw. It was a very good fight. It's a fantastic fight. It was awesome. Happy it's happening again. Moreno is a beast. He's a monster. He's a crazy Mexican in the best way. I say that in the best possible terms, meaning it's a good stereotype, I guess.
Because I'm drunk, motherfuckers.
No, they're talking about they're making fun of you not knowing. Okay, Ray.
That's what I said because I'm drunk. That's why I got it wrong. Time,
but he doesn't watch your show. He's an asshole. He only cares about Ray. Well, he's busy. He's a busy guy. All right, I'll give him
that. I stay busy.
If anyone comments on your show, it's usually me. I've done that before. It's usually not Ray. Anyway, what I was saying. Figueiredo lost the point in this fight, right? If it wasn't for that, he probably would have won the decision. That's right, right? Am I remembering that correctly? Okay. Also, Figueiredo almost died in the hospital before, right? He had what was that? What was the issue? A stomach thing or something? So Figueiredo's a monster. He's great. He's one of the best in the world. I love Moreno, dude. He's a fiery Mexican, and dude, this guy is already a big star in Mexico. But you imagine, man, he wins in Glendale. This guy wins the title. I'm pulling for Moreno. I love the dude to death. I hope he fights just as hard as he did last time. I hope it's a crazy, crazy back and forth fight like it was last time. And I hope Moreno gets some kind of a little bit of an edge and gets the win on a decision. I'm stuttering. I've been drinking. I apologize for the stuttering, not the drinking. But Davis and Figueiredo, I believe that is gonna, be Davis and Figueiredo, and I think it's gonna be a decision again, and probably a relatively close fight. But I think Figueiredo is going to show how great he is, how great of a champion he is, and do his thing and oppose his will and be the champion once again. And still, Raymond, I think he's gonna win this fight.
I watched the highlights from the press conference actually today as well, the pre-fight press conference, and Figueiredo is looking to knock Moreno out, according to his translator, and it's definitely, I can see it happening. This is one of those fights, I've said it on this podcast before, I don't give a fuck who wins this. I just want to watch the fireworks explode. This is one of those fights where I'm excited this is happening again after the draw that they had in one of the best flyweight matches in UFC history. I mean, that was a great fucking match. And see these guys go up against each other again. Fuck, dude. Like, how do you not love that? Sure. This is what fighting is about. Like, I hope it goes to a draw and they have a trilogy. I really want like these guys to fight forever. I'm telling you.
No, if it's a great fight and Moreno squeaks out a decision, it will be a trilogy. You would assume so. Maybe not right away, but it will happen eventually. But these guys are great. I love both of these guys. I love both of these guys fought. The one thing I'm super still, man, I just sorry, I have Tourette's and my leg decided to do something on its own. Anyway, I kicked my table. I love the way both of these guys fight. I was very disappointed back in November when Cody Garbrandt couldn't fight Figueiredo. I mean, yeah, and right now it's pretty easy. You could probably say because of what happened to Font, like, oh, Cody wouldn't have beat Figueiredo. You don't know that for sure. But I still would love to see that fight. Again, Cody's from where I'm from, and I've known Cody a while, kind of, sort of. He probably remembers who I am. I don't pretend to know him that well. Anyway, he used to know who I was. Anyway, that's not the point.
Like
now he does not get back to my messages when I ask him to be on the podcast. So and it doesn't. We'll get him eventually. We'll get him. Like his uncle who trains him lives in town here where I live. I know him. Anyway, I know him. I know people. Yeah, whatever. I know people. Anyway, I know people. Anyway, point is, I still want to see that fight. However, Figueiredo's a monster, and I want to see these guys go back and forth again. It's going to be great. I love Moreno. It's impossible not to like Moreno. He's great. He has a great personality. He's fantastic. He's a monster. He fights so hard. I love these guys. Yeah, these are two guys that I can see fight forever.
Yeah.
Again and again and again. They're great. It's so much fun. I'm excited. I'm expecting nothing less than fireworks again. So who are you picking, though, Ray?
I'm going to go with Moreno on this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think honestly, Moreno had most of that last fight. It was even though it was a back and forth, I think Moreno kind of eked out maybe a 20 or 49-48 out of it. And it was close. And I'm not saying that Davidson Figueiredo is one of the most dominant flyweights since Mighty Mouse. Like, this dude makes it look easy, and that's what I like about 25ers and always have, is they make martial arts look like, any schlub off the street can do it.
Super easy last time.
Well, but I'm talking about like both of these guys, though. Moreno especially, I do want a Mexican-American or a Mexican-born champion in the UFC, because even though Cain Velasquez is the first Mexican-American champion, the UFC doesn't have a Canelo Alvarez. And I think, honestly, if you get a guy who's Mexican-born as a UFC champion,
defending his title in Mexico City someday, oh my gosh, that'd be nuts.
That would be sweet. So I wish they would do that.
Yeah, me too. I try to go
pay-per-view from Mexico City would be dope.
That'd be so.
I would try and fly to it.
Yeah, man, that would be fun. You know how nuts that would be. I mean, listen, you fortunately were in Cleveland when Stipe defended his title, and I'm sure it was. I mean,
definitely.
I'm sure there will be more people, and if it can't possibly be louder than that was, it would be. But I'm sure it was maximum volume there. I probably couldn't get any louder.
You would need Stadium Mexico. Like, that would be where you would put that, because that holds like 50,000 people. So, absolutely. Nothing.
I'm reading these comments again. I really love how JBM just put you in your place. That's pretty great.
Well, she deserves to, because I did fuck up. Because
Well, no, not for that. Just the thing. Just you were saying dumb things. Not just the fact that you didn't know who that was. So that's okay.
No.
Although you should, because how much they're helping us.
I know what I'm talking about. I just have different opinions.
And again, and your opinions are often wrong. You just chase your own tail. We've talked about this. And every time I say that, you get mad at me. But I do,
because I don't. I have my opinions, and they're mine.
Yes, and you're allowed to have them. But every time
I say
like
the rifle, it's like a rifle in Full Metal Jacket. This is my opinion. It's not like anybody else.
I'm not chasing your tail.
Mine.
You're not chasing your tail here. But like when you do something on Facebook, and like the time that you just changed the subject before I even responded to you, and you started arguing about your own thing with yourself, and you asked me why I'd say you're chasing your tail. I'm like, that's a perfect look. It's exactly what you're doing. You changed the subject on yourself and started arguing with me without talking to me. Just yourself. That's you. Just this. That's what that is. Anyway, I'm right. You're wrong. What's next?
What is next?
The people's main event. The people's main event.
This, I don't get it. I don't get why this is 5 rounds. I really don't understand.
What I said, right? But I still don't understand it.
It's
Bye, Ray.
Like, there's no BMF belt going on. Why did I do that?
I don't know. Because you're a narcissist.
Yes. Yes, I'm a comic, of course.
Yeah, that's true. A little bit. Yeah, that's true.
But yes, Leon Edwards, one of the top guys, a man that's been done more dirtier by the UFC than Joe Louis in boxing. a man who had his status taken away at one point.
It's so stupid.
It was. It's like, and he's one of the best fighters in the UFC as well. Going up against one of my favorite fighters.
Everyone's favorite. Who doesn't love Nate Diaz?
There's some that don't like Nate Diaz, and they can suck a dick.
Do it.
Just pure, just right from the tap. Just suck that dick because you're wrong. Like, I may be wrong about a lot, but I love Nathan Diaz. He's an amazing fighter, but I don't like the fact that this is 5 rounds. I think this is not a good look for the UFC paper because no, I don't, because it sends a poor, like you just said, it sends a poor message and establishes a precedent that somebody can put, if they're a third from the top, that they can do 5 rounds when it should just be third. And it shows, even though I love Nate, that they're showing a little bit of favoritism here by giving Nate Diaz a 5-round fight.
You know why? Because Nate sells pay-per-views.
This is true, but again,
you don't America, do that, brother. This is capitalism, man. This is how you do things, man. Like, listen, that's why.
Don't do
that.
That's
why.
Stick to the plan.
No, man. Listen. Also, this was, it's third down now, but it was supposed to be a co-main event, and they didn't change the rounds because they had to push it a card, which is fine. I don't know. Listen, the only thing I don't like about it is that they're going to do this all the time now. But they're saying, hey, let's try to let's give people a 5-round fight for Nate Diaz. Hopefully, it will sell them pay-per-views. I'm assuming that's what happened. And that's fine. I'm fine with that. I understand to make your money. That's fine. That's why I'm fine with the Paul brothers making their money. And you got to do it, man. Do your thing, make your money. That's fine. The only thing I don't like I said, is we're going to do this all the time now, or we're just going to lead to all fights being 5 rounds eventually. Like, when's it going to end, right? If you do it once, when's it going to end? But either way, it is what it is. Leon Edwards is an extremely technical striker. He's beautiful. He's great. Mm-hmm. Nate Diaz is Nate Diaz. But Ray isn't. Ray's the one who isn't entitled to his own opinion, because it's my job on the show to give Ray shit for all of his opinions. That's what I do. That's what I try to do, and it will never stop. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, Leon Edwards. So Nate Diaz's last fight was that it was Jorge. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was the Masvidal fight.
Right. Well, that's like two guys who not saying that Jorge isn't a technical striker. He is. But these are two guys that really like to get in face and brawl, and that's Nate's style, and he lost that fight to Jorge. Now, this is Leon Edwards will absolutely do that if he has to, but he's very technical and very clean striker. I have Edwards. Dude, I honestly think Edwards is one of the best in his division for sure. I want this guy to get a title shot. I'm pulling for him. I like Nate too. I just love the fight. It's a great fight. I'm really hoping that Edwards gets to win. I think he's going to get a win in 5 rounds. But I think he's going to outpoint him. Ray's going to outstrike him. But you're going to see a good fight. You're going to see Nate Diaz do Nate Diaz shit, which is fantastic. He's going to talk shit. He's going to get in his face and box the hell out of him. But I think Leon Edwards is so technical. And before the no contest happened with the eye poke, he was looking very great against Bilal Muhammad, who we'll talk about in a minute.
Yep.
But he was looking fantastic. But I really think he's going to outclass him, I'll say, in his striking. With this is technicality, and win this fight on points. But I think it's going to be a great fight, hell of a fight for sure. Because it's Nate Diaz, man. It always is. He always brings it hard. He's the man. But yeah,
Nate Diaz. I'm picking Nate in this one. I'm pulling the fan card, but I honestly think Nate needs to get on his bike for this fight and really push the pace of the fight and bully Leon Edwards to get the victory in this. You want to hear the line on this one? Because honestly, I'm thinking about putting $100 down.
Where? We can't gamble in this state.
My bookie. I mean, you can always go to like those AG websites and do it that way.
The one, well, like we can't do DraftKings in this state.
No,
you have to physically be in the other states to do that.
Yeah,
so we could
which is why when we go to PA, because I think they have sports betting now. I might bet on the Indians winning when we go to fucking just so I can win a little bit of cash. But the line on this, I would say right now, I'd put $100 on Nate Diaz for the line on investment. because Leon Edwards is a minus 500 favorite in this, and
Holy
Nate
shit.
Diaz is a 355 underdog.
Holy shit! I didn't expect it to be like that. I know
Neither
it's been
did
a
I.
minute since he won, but dude, it's Nate Diaz. However, I mean, listen, I did pick Edwards, and I'm not going to put money on Nate, but that's a bigger line than I expected it to be.
I'll probably tomorrow put $100 on Nate with those odds. That's good odds.
I wouldn't use those weird states that go through weird islands, man. I've heard some bad shit about those, man. Just drive yourself.
Gotta go to my bookie.
Drive yourself to Erie or whatever the nearest city in Pennsylvania is to you, and drive to Erie and just do that, and there you go. I can get to West Virginia in an hour from here.
If I'm out 100, I'm out 100. I'm gonna bet just Nate Diaz to win. So I think that's
better because when one of us
tomorrow.
is in Vegas, we bet really big on silly bets instead of just picking an easy bet. We can win a couple bucks on. We try to do crazy parlays and lose our money. Okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. What was the bet that we? We picked Burns, and then we picked to beat Usman, which is silly. Which I knew was silly, but I'm like, let's try it. And then what was the other one? Oh, it was
Kelvin Gastelum
and Heinisch. We had Heinisch beating Gastelum. And to this day, you still think that was fixed.
Dude, I still to this day, because the betting line moved on fucking Ian Heinisch that day to possibly win. And honestly, wouldn't it be hilarious if our bet on Ian Heinisch moved the line?
Apparently that's what happens when I buy crypto. Like if I buy crypto, it changes. It's going down, and I sell, and then it goes straight up, like every time. And the opposite.
They know Tim Danko's doing it. That's why.
Apparently.
But no, I'll probably bet $100 on Nate Diaz tomorrow. On one of the betting apps or betting sites. But I honestly think Nate needs to bully Leon, and I think he can, just based on the amount of punishment that Nate can take. Now, I'm not saying that Leon can't crack. He can't knock people out, but he absolutely can for sure. But I'm picking Nate because I think one title implication is on the line right now for Nate, at least. So that's a little bit of motivation to beat some ass.
Like I said, because they were looking for any excuse to give that guy a title shot because of how much money it would make for them. And like I said, man, what's going to happen? I told you, man. Look, Usman. No, it's going to be Diaz is going to win this fight. Then he's going to fight the winner of Colby and Usman, probably Usman, and then he's going to beat Usman. And Connor's going to beat Poirier, and then he's going to beat Oliveira. And then, oh no, they're going to build this money-making fight. No, listen, that'd be insane, and I hope that happens, but it won't happen.
No, this is reality. And
however, like we said before, like weird shit like goes the UFC's way all the time. It just seems to work there for them all the time a lot. So, all right, before we talk about the Maya Belal Muhammad fight, I have to go get a drink. I have to get a
drink, and I'm probably when you come back gonna take a pee because I have to pee. But I will put the camera on me like it should be all the time. We lost somebody because Tim left, and we know who the star of the show is. But we appreciate all of you guys as well. Make sure to subscribe, justify our existence in the MMA podcasting sphere. We have been drinking heavily since we started the show, and we appreciate every single one of you. We also have to give the shout out right now to the MMA Holes. Go watch their podcast as well. It's on the MMAholes.com. That's the MMAholes.com. Give us a follow as well on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, even though our Instagram is pretty much non-existent. We are the worst podcast in the history of MMA podcasts. That's right. Bro, Plata is what we are. And leave a comment if you're watching this down the line. Tell us how much we suck. Tell us how much we need to go to broadcasting school or something. I don't know. I went to broadcasting school. That's why I'm doing a podcast. We have a spammer from Twitch, which is awesome. I'm not going to give that person any advertising. but it's how we do with the bro Plata. I almost said the MMA. Oh man, my hair is weird. Don't tell Tim. Tim's not watching right now, but I am gonna come back on Tuesday after UFC 263, completely bald with a beard. So I'm gonna be shaved from all the way down to the skin. So this lovely Johnny Bravo look I have going on won't exist for a little while, until probably about 3 months from now, because my hair grows fast, but to get to this length, it needs to grow. But I'm going to shave. It's like scorching the earth, guys. That's what you need to do with your hair. You need to just every once in a while go full Sinead O'Connor, full on, completely just going G.I. Jane, Marlon Brando in Apocalypse Now, straight up bald, and you will look sexy for sure. Because I think so, especially with this beard. I think I can pull off the bald with the beard. If I can't, you'll see me without the beard. But it's what we do. We're going to be getting to talking. Tim's getting his headphones on, and I'm going to bring him back into the fold of sexiness that is the lovely bro Plata. I was telling them a secret, Tim. You're not allowed to know until Tuesday.
I'm not allowed to know until Tuesday?
No.
Okay. What does that mean?
Surprise.
Okay, so I'll just listen later. Okay.
I
look spam.
I know. I saw that, and I did not give that person the time of day.
Fatty got to get in this chair here. All right. How great is this chair?
It's quite nice.
You know what? When you come down next week, that's happening, right? You're coming down Saturday?
Yes, Saturday night. We're going to wake up about 8, just to let you know.
That's fine. Like I said, we would do the watch party, but it's not going to work logistically.
But I'm going to put the camera on you because I'm going to take a pee break real quick because I really.
Yeah. Somebody send me a question about something. I want a question about anything. Anything. Fights would be cool, but if not, whatever. Something personal, I'll answer it probably. Let's get us something. It's good. Okay, let's talk about. We already talked about fights. We talked about Clarissa Shields. Love that. I think she looked good enough, promising. Again, we obviously know she has a lot to learn, obviously, and that fight showed that. But it also showed that she's learning a bit, right? She's only been doing this for like 7 months, man, and she's fighting someone who has 9 fights. Yeah, she's not the best. Point is, PFL knew what they're doing. I think with this matchup, they wanted exactly that to happen. Her to have a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember. Anyway, she wanted something. They wanted things to go a little bit wrong for her, but not completely wrong. And she got up when she was taken down, and she ended up winning the fight. Wow, why can't I think of the word I was looking for? It happens to me a lot. All right, so we just talk about my knickknacks again. This is my Jim Brown mini helmet. That's Jim Brown. He signed that. This is Brown's dog. This is Mike Piazza. I don't know why I have a Mike Piazza Subway series, but you know what? Listen, my stepfather used to work at a landfill, and they pulled this. Like, they had a bag of them that was in the landfill. They weren't in the trash, just like a whole bag of them. So he pulled one out for me. So that's some reason I have a Mike Piazza Subway series bobblehead from 2002. All right, I'll sell it $8. $8. Anyone who wants this, sell it. Anyway, Mike Piazza's here. I got Tim Couch. I got my Scranton Eagles. This is my pro football team in Scranton, Pennsylvania, that my friend of the family used to coach. Anyway, we get any questions yet? Let me take a look here. No. Oh, Casey Jones is asking about my penis. Not great. It's usable. That's a good question. Next question, please. What are you gonna do? You got what you got. It works better when I'm not so fat, though, man. This, the fatness makes it seem a lot worse than it actually is. That's a common problem for fat people. Underdog. What underdog, Mike? I don't know what he's talking about. This whole show is an underdog. We have the underdog mentality. We're a couple losers like talk about fights and whatever else we talk about, movies and Jim Steinman. And hi, Ray.
Hi. Oh, why am I bigger than you?
Like in general? All
I
right,
need
there we go. Better?
I'm not bigger than you. That's the problem.
Well, Casey just asked how big my penis was, so I had to go through that.
Yeah, I read that when I came back. I'm like, oh, that's exactly what I was hoping for when you started asking for questions.
Yeah. Well, what do you expect?
Oh.
So what's going on Tuesday?
Uh,
I mean, I can listen. I'll listen to it
I-
right now on the show.
well, I was about to say, I admitted that I'm going to be shaving my head. I'm doing my summer cleaning of my hair because sometimes you know when like you strip an entire like forest of wood, you're legally supposed to plant new trees.
Back in my days of stripping forests of wood. Yeah, you too, right? Remember when we used to be lumberjacks? Come on, man.
We found out that it was okay, and we worked all day, and we slept all night, and we worked all day.
Anyway, so you're shaving your head. What about your beard? You look like
I'm
a white
actually going to
supremacist.
keep the beard for and see how it looks.
You're gonna look like my brother, man. What does he look like? White supremacist? Yes. And he's well aware of it. He's not one, but he knows he looks like one. No, listen,
but I wear that hat all the time.
Luxurious hair that's that I would have. I mean that I have, but dude, I spent a lot of time combing my hair. I had to get a lot of knots out of my hair. It took a long time, actually.
I can imagine. You have to me that looks like a total rat's nest at times.
Well, it was earlier. I cleared it up though. I cleared up. It's nice now. It's nice and smooth back there now. So we're gonna talk about Damian Maia.
Yeah, let's talk about this fight because this is an interesting fight for Damian Maia for especially
a hot take?
being,
Ready for a hot take? If this fight goes to the ground, I'm telling you, Ray, if this fight goes, okay. It's one of those things, like it's the most obvious thing in the world. However, we take everyone. We take people who don't know anything about MMA. We love all of you. So we'll say the obvious stuff because we have to say it. But yes, he's a first-class grappler. He's amazing. He's one of the best grapplers, submission grapplers in MMA, and he still is. And he became better when he realized that's how he should fight. For a while, he just tried to knock people out, which was silly because he was better on the ground than them. And he took some beatings because of that. But he's fantastic submission guy. That submission against Ben Askren really showed how dominant of a grappler he really is. But he's fighting Muhammad, who's a monster. Muhammad, who's coming off that no contest eye poke, Leon Edwards. Before that, he had a win, and then was it Diego Lima? I think it was. And then, so this should be good. It should be fun. I'm picking Bilal because I think Bilal's going to be able to stay on his feet enough. And Damian Maia's getting a little older, but I like him. I mean, listen, yeah, and it's true. If Damian can get him down, he can grind him out and maybe submit him, but I don't know if he's going to be able to. Another guy who has great foot movement is Bilal Muhammad. So, I mean, right. I mean, yes, it's super obvious. But yeah, if the fight stays on his feet, stays on the feet for the majority of it, yeah, Bilal's going to win, and I think he's going to win.
Yeah, but Bilal also does have a strong ground game as well. I know Damian Maia has this.
The strongest, but yeah, it's not bad. Sure.
Yeah, but I love the days of Damian Maia being the fucking flypaper that attracts every single fighter he gets into, I think is over. And I agree with you that Bilal Muhammad is going to knock out actually Damian Maia in this fight, probably second round. I think if he's smart, he's going to work on his defense and really shore that up against Damian Maia. And I know that's easier said than done, but I think Bilal's going to knock out Damian Maia probably second round.
What do you say? He's not going to be flypaper anymore. I mean, if anything that doesn't go away, it's your grappling ability. If anything, it probably gets better.
But it's the fact that he's older, he's a little bit slower. Bilal is a faster striker than him.
Well, where's the speed going to affect? Where's the speed going to affect his ability to take him down?
The ability to kind of get away from danger and not have Damian Maia, grabbing at your wrist, grabbing at your arm.
Okay. But if he takes him down,
he has still good hand movement.
If he takes him down, he's still flypaper.
Yeah, I'm not saying that if it
right?
doesn't happen, but I see Bilal being the faster fighter in this fight.
I was just trying to clear up what you're saying, and I was giving you shit because we try to make this show entertaining, and I hate you. So that all works.
I hate you too, buddy.
Could you imagine if we really did hate each other? It might be more entertaining, honestly. Listen, if anything goes forward with the show gets more. Maybe we will hate each other eventually. It happens most shows, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I don't think that would be
either that or they get married and have kids like the MMA holds. One or the other. Either that's going to happen, right? Anyway, we're looking for a surrogate and I guess a mother. And Ray and I are rock paper scissors, but whose sperm we're using. Mine.
Oh, I'll throw that. I'm willing to throw it. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm at that point where, like, in my life, where like kids, if I have them, I'm like, okay, I got to make sure this doesn't die.
Right. I think I'd be a fantastic weekend dad. Like, I don't want to be like responsible for them being alive every day of the week, but I can go take them to the movies on Saturdays. You know, I'd be pretty good at that. I think I'd be perfect at that. I like doing that with my nieces already, so that's fun. So yeah, I think I'd be
a decent dad. I would look after my kid. I would be an MMA dad though. Like I would get him into martial arts and all that shit and try and like groom a UFC fighter out of like just pure will and determination.
I like this. Chase Hooper plans to unveil new tricks at UFC 263. Like what? Like hands?
Your hands are soft, Mr. Hooper.
I like Chase Hooper a lot, and I'm picking him to win because I like him. But I don't know.
He's
I don't
still
know
young
about
though.
That one.
Like
I know, but the thing is, he's winning fights, man. He's super. Look, he has a chin, man. He's super durable. He's tough as hell, man. The thing is, I think if he loses one fight badly, they'll cut him because of the way like he got beat up at his last fight, but he won. He came back and won, which is great. It was an amazing fight. But I don't know. I'm pulling for him. Who's he fighting? Let's look real fast. Steven Peterson.
Yeah, that's going to be, I believe, the last
early prelim.
Yeah, last early prelim fight.
I don't think it said that. It doesn't matter. It's something like that. It's early.
Well, they definitely featured it a lot on their Facebook page, so I'm assuming it's probably the last early prelim.
Oh yeah, he just knocked out Martin Bravo. That was in and not just knocked out. Sorry, it was a while ago. This is why I can't remember who this guy was because he has a fight since September 2019. So, it's Chase Hooper. So he's got some pop, but he's also has losses to Carreras and Pena. Hooper also has that loss. His only loss was to Alex Carreras.
Carreras,
fun. Do I say Carreras? Caceres? Again, yes, I'm going to pronounce all names wrong.
Terrible.
Whatever, Roy Hicklick.
Ray Hicklick. Why are you at the funny stop right now?
Again, if you don't know, that's an impression of Pete, the owner of the Funny Stop Comedy Club in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. We need to get Pete on the show. I don't know why. I just wanted to talk shit about us on the show.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Ray Hicklick. You gay. You quit comedy. You gay.
You smoke the Peters, as they say.
Your dick looks like Russian sickle. I love that.
What a curve. Holy shit.
All right. Nothing? So what do we got next? Oh, we got undefeated Jamala Hill. Jamahal Hill. That sounds like
a World War II battle.
There you go. That's better than what I was going to say. Just get some sort of folk song. I'll meet you on Jamahal Hill. Yeah. Against the Bear Jew. The Bear Jew. When we had Sean Lynch on, he talked about the Bear Jew because he used to be his roommate in college, and he used to start doing claymation with him before he did a Celebrity Deathmatch. Eli Roth, filmmaker Eli Roth, who played the Bear Jew in Inglourious Basterds. Anyway, Paul Craig and Jamal Hill and Craig. Okay, I love Paul Craig, man. I love him. He's
Might be
so much fun to
Jamal,
watch.
but it's like weird spelling.
It's not quite Jamal. It's like Jamal Hall, something like that. Anyway, that's all I remember. It wasn't quite Jamal. So anyway, Hill's undefeated. I think he's going to beat Craig because I think he's a young gun. He's got some pop, and he's maybe will finish Craig. However, I'm a big fan of Paul Craig's. He's a nasty triangle, and he's a tough dude. I'm excited. This is a great matchup. I'm excited for this fight. Hall had another win that was taken away because he smoked the marijuana. So he should be 9-0. But he's not. But we're talking about a dude who hasn't lost, Paul Craig, since June 2019 against Alonzo Meadowfield. It's very tough. Since then he has a win, a draw against Hua, 2 wins, and because he beat Hua, they rematched and he beat him up bad. But he has a couple triangle chokes, and he has multiple triangle chokes, a lot of triangle chokes. So if it gets on the ground, watch out for his triangle choke, Ray.
Absolutely.
But we're talking about Hill, who
thanks, Tim.
Right? It's John Madden. They score more points. All right. So Hill's coming off that big win of Oven St. Preux, who I did not think he beat. I didn't think he beat OSP, but he did and look fantastic. That's why I think he's going to beat Craig. He's got hands, man. He can pop. I think he's going to knock Craig out. I like Craig a lot. Big fan. But I think this kid, how old is he?
I think
he's 30, but it's still younger than Craig. Anyway, he's going to knock him out.
Yeah, I think Paul Craig really needs to get this on the ground for him to win this and really kind of impose his will on and make sure he gets to the proper positions to finish this on the ground. Because Jamal Hill he does have pop to him. I remember the OSP fight, and yeah, man, I want Paul Craig. I'm going to pull for Paul Craig. I'm even picking Paul Craig just because I am a fan. It's one of the rare fan picks I'll do on this show. But yeah,
you just did another one with Diaz. You just said you're doing a fan pick.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about it's a rare thing. This is a rare time. I give out 2 fan picks for sure.
All right. I believe you. What's the odds on this fight, son?
Let me look up the odds right now for you. The odds are Paul Craig is a plus 235 favorite compared.
Wait, is he plus?
That's underdog. No, he is an underdog at plus 235. And Jamal Hill is
minus 190, something like that.
With the UFC's website says minus 305.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
it's a big favorite
for the people to see. So yeah, it's a minus 355, or it's a big difference. 305.
Yeah, I'm picking him, but it's a big favorite. What about the Dober Riddle fight? What's the odds on that one? This is going to be fun. I love this matchup, dude. These are two guys who just throw. And a straight throw. That's all I have to say about this fight is a straight throw. I'm picking Riddle. I love Dober, but I'm picking Riddle, and they straight throw. Riddle was supposed to fight.
There are no betting odds.
Okay, well, I'll look for them. I mean, there is. Of course there is. It's not on the site you're looking at.
On the website, I mean.
It's weird. Okay, so we're looking at, what's his name? Dober is the favorite at 155. Okay. Riddle is plus 125 underdog. Man, I think Riddle's going to win this fight. It's going to be tough though. I mean, Riddle was supposed to fight Gillespie, but that got pulled, and it was cool because we ended up getting a great Conor Gillespie fight when he fought Diego Ferreira. But dude, Riddle, I love this matchup because these guys both throw crazy and they're not strikers. It's going to be a great striking fight. I hope someone gets finished. Although these guys both have chances, it's going to be fun. I'm really this is an amazing matchup. It's a fantastic fight for a free fight. This could easily be on the main card, but I think this is good. This is going to be the one they're hoping that people are on the fence if they're going to get the card or not. They watch this last free fight. It's a complete war, and they're like, oh, we have to watch more fights. That's exactly why they put this fight there, because they hope it's fireworks, and people are like, dude, we have to keep watching fights, right? Let's buy this pay-per-view because we just saw this war, right? And this was the free ones. This wasn't even the ones we had to pay for, right? I think it's exactly why they put this one here, because I think it's going to be a super exciting fight, and I love it. I'm picking Riddle, but I'm a big fan of Dober. It's going to be great. I'm more excited for this fight than about almost any other fight in this card. I'm excited for it. It's great. Great matchup, Ray.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this whole card, man. This whole card seems like it's going to be fireworks from the beginning. There's really good fights. On the main card, Eric Anders versus Darren Stewart is a great one. Lauren Murphy and Joanne Calderwood is going to be a great fight.
Yeah, that's another one. That's the last one I wanted to talk about. Because I'm picking Lauren Murphy.
Yeah,
I hope she wins. If she wins, she should get a title shot. Like they say all the time, okay, you win, but your prize, not a great prize. You have to fight Valentina. I'm like, that's what they want, though. You want, even if you don't maybe not have a shot, they still want that shot to fight for a title. And Lauren Murphy has had multiple wins in a row. She deserves that shot. All right. She has Joanne Calderwood. I believe if she wins, she will get it, and she deserves it. I think she deserved it beforehand, honestly. But if she beats Joanne Calder, which I think she would, I think she's going to win a decision. I think she'll deserve that title fight. So I'm pulling for Lauren Murphy. I was thinking, I'm like, man, Lauren Murphy's getting kind of old, though. How much older is she than Joanne Calderwood? Answer is they're about the same age. I didn't realize that JoJo is 35. Lauren Murphy is 36. So I'm excited for that one too. That's another one that could have been a main event on a non-pay-per-view card. That could have been on this card for sure. Same thing with Dober and Riverdale. Andrew Stewart is going to be good too. I'm picking the dentist there, Darren Stewart. Let's see what the early prelims. How many I wanted to talk? All right. Carlos Felipe and Jake Collier is going to be fun. I like Carlos Felipe. I think he got some pop. So I'm picking him. That's all I got for now. That's all I got.
That's all you got. You're throwing your hands up and saying you're
Throw
done.
my hands up. I want to go to the bar next door and see my buddy play guitar. So let's do that. I'm going to do that.
We will close this episode of the Bro Plata by saying once again, as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Leave a comment.
You to the MMA holes again. I would love you guys to death.
Well, yes, I was going to get to them, but
I was doing it for you. I was doing it for you. You don't have to.
And then also, if you could, make sure to go to the MMAholes.com. Go see the other podcasts that are on there as well. And make sure to let everybody know that the Kumite exists only in the Bro Plata, because we will see you there, my friends.
Ray, did you figure out that JBM is a woman now? You got to figure that out now. You got it now? Write it down. Write it down, you crazy weirdo. All right.
What'd you say again?